like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Hi, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Jim.
Welcome to our channel where we repair and restore vintage air-cooled cars and motorcycles.
Join us as we tackle everything from simple repairs and issues to complete restorations. Welcome. In today's video, we will talk about some problems with the hood latch on your VW Beetle.
You may experience issues with the cable breaking or being out of adjustment, or problems after replacing the hood or latch. If the latch will not operate properly, it can be a huge issue.
There are a couple of tricks if you run into these problems, and we're going to show them to you today.
First, let's address how to access the latch from the outside of the car. There's an access cover in the trunk of the car. This is for removing the shifter tube, but we're going to use it to access the trunk area.
Here's a close-up of the access cover hole from inside the trunk so you can see what it looks like and where it is located. There are two potential situations that you can run into. The first is the most common, and that is that you have not planned for the hood to be stuck shut. The cable is either broken or gotten out of adjustment, or you worked on the hood without realizing that you might have a problem. If that's the case, you'll notice that the cover is held on by one screw and a tab. You can get under the car, take a metal rod, a wooden rod, or something like that, push against the back of the cover and actually force it open, which gives you access to the inside of the trunk area. If you are planning on working on the hood latch and you have a little bit of foresight on this, you can always take the cover off ahead of time, and then you have access to the inside of the trunk.
The cover can be reused if you hammer or dolly it to straighten it back out. This is the least destructive method that we have found so far, although we like the destructive method.
You like hammers, I know.
Cool. To access the latch in an emergency situation, if you were planning to work on the latch or the hood, simply remove the one screw and take the cover off. In our case, the hood was removed when the car was painted and a new latch was purchased.
And that's the reason our cover has been up, because we didn't think ahead and we put the new latch on and shut the hood thinking everything was great, and of course the hood wouldn't open again. So we had to force it open, and I'll show you how to open the latch from underneath the car.
With a broken cable or adjuster barrel that has came loose and allowed the cable to move, not allowing the latch to operate with the release, the latch mechanism can be moved from the access under the car.
And we'll show you that as well. Okay. I have a piece of tubing that I like to use to operate the latch from under the car. You can use a tube, you can use a solid rod. The reason I like the piece of tubing is because the end of the strike fits pretty well in the end of the tube, and it gives me a little bit better grip on it when I'm trying to knock it up to release the latch. That works out pretty good for me. You can use whatever. Also, if you need to move the latch over to the right to release it, you can do so with the end of the tube. Same thing with a rod or some long piece. You just need to make sure that you've got it long enough to be able to grip it, but not so long that it gets in your way under the car.
If you've replaced the latch or the hood, or it is simply out of adjustment, the strike may not be centered in the latch and it may be hanging up on an edge of the latch and not allowing the hood to open. In that case, it is possible you might need 3 people, one to operate the release inside the car, one to lift up the hood, and one under the car to hit the latch strike. You will notice that the latch has a small amount of adjustment front to back, and this is where you need to be certain that it's centered in the catch.
Okay. And there's a couple different types of latches depending on who the manufacturer is and which year car they go on. Some have the adjustment where they actually bolt to the hood. This one, for example, has 2 slots where it bolts to the hood. The one on this 71, the adjustment is a slot where the latch strike actually bolts to the bracket. You have forward and backwards adjustment on that.
Also, make sure the spring is adjusted so that there is some upward force applied when the lever is operated. This will allow the hood to pop open slightly to ensure that it is disengaged from the latch.
and we'll go under the car in just a moment and show you how this all works. All right, this is the view looking from underneath the car through the access hole. And yes, we put the car up on the lift because I'm lazy and didn't want to lay on the ground and do this. So this is the rod that I was talking about. You can access through the opening, and if you need to work the release, can you see from over here? Can you get like?
Yes.
Okay. If you have to work the release, you can put the rod against it and you can simply push the release over and actually open the hood that way. You can put the release against a couple different places, whichever works best for you, and you can use the rod or the tube against the edge of the opening and use that to operate the mechanism. Now, if you need to open the hood and the latch is stuck and it's not a matter of just being able to operate it, if you put the tube over the end of the latch and then simply tap it with a hammer, you can hit it and it will pop the latch open about 90% of the time. If that doesn't work, you've got a bigger problem, but usually it will open. That's the way that we open them if they get stuck, and it seems to work for us fairly well, but that does give you access to everything you need to be able to open the hood. We hope this video has been helpful to you, and please like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
We have a lot of air-cooled content this year, so make sure to join us.